Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Hey, you're welcome to be here with me on FriYAY! Hi there, everyone. I'm so glad you're here for the Daily Dish. The Daily Dish is all about getting vibrancy back into your everyday life, heart, mind, body, and soul. Isn't that a cool thing? And we do this with a number of different things, of course. And we've been doing this daily show now since 2019. Can you believe it? So it's been a while. And I'm really delighted that you're here for FriYAY's Q&A. That's how we roll. We got some really good questions in. I can't wait to get to them. So if you are a note taker, I would take notes for this because I've got some really good stuff in there. Cool? Also, I'm going to just turn off my little Slack because it's making all kinds of noise. This week, don't forget tomorrow is Soulful Saturday, and that's when we start with a new quote of the week and all of that. And we're getting to the tail end of our supplement of the week. So I'm saying heads up, do not delay on the supplement of the week, which this week is our organic ACV, which I love. ACV is apple cider vinegar. Now, apple cider vinegar is a prebiotic, meaning that it helps to feed the good guys that are in your gut. You've got a war going on in there. And we always want to make sure the troops are fresh by doing our probiotic and that we're feeding them by giving them a prebiotic. Cool? Not only that, but it's going to help with your digestion. Now, the big thing is there's apple cider vinegar all the time. You see this and find it everywhere. But the problem is it isn't organic. Ours is organic. It's sourced from only organic apple cider vinegar, and it's excellent. If you buy 3 of these bottles, we're going to give you the 4th one free. Screamin' deal. And you can find it at savingdinner.com/show. That's where we hide the supplements of the week, so you know about the deal. All you have to do is put the 3 in your cart, and guess what? We'll do the rest. Cool? All right. And speaking of the quote of the week, I'm going to show you this because you need it. I do. You don't have what you want because you're not committed to it. So an interesting thing that happened to me this morning, I was behind the 8 ball all morning long. All morning. It was what I planned to do, and how the morning rolled out was completely different. And as my morning was rolling out the way it was, and I also wrote a blog post because I had this on my mind for a long time, and there was a bunch of stuff. And so I was about to abandon my workout. And then I finished writing in my journal from Take Back Your Life journal. And in that, we create 3 intentional I am goals out of our visions of what we want. And one of mine is I am an athlete training daily and joyfully at the table and in the gym. I almost skipped my workout this morning. And then you know what I said? You know what? I can do part of it here now, and then maybe move a couple of things a little bit. And then I can get the rest of it later on. Now, in my old perfectionist ways, I would have normally said, I'll get to it tomorrow, or it's not going to work out, and kind of beat myself up a little bit. But in looking toward excellence, instead, I made a different choice, and I got part of it done. So I'm telling you this because, sorry, there's a little bug trying to get me. I'm telling you this because this is the framework that we need so that we can progress in what it is that we want. This is important stuff. And I'm just giving you that little piece to hold on to, because that's the needle mover, and that's what changes everything in your life. Because the consistency of just showing up and just doing this much, even if it's all you've got, at least that much is done, and that is excellent. How about that? So I know I'm talking a lot already this morning, aren't I? This afternoon, whatever it is. I'm just talking a lot. We are almost toward the end of the sprint. And if you're not involved with the Hot Melt Sprint, We do this once a month as a group challenge. It is a free program, and it absolutely moves the needle as far as getting rid of inflammation, taming some hunger hormones, and helping you to feel like you're finally in control of what's going on in your life. Plus, you have an amazing group of women who are supporting you. If you want to find out more, go to savingdinner.com/sprint. There's a webinar there. There's all kinds of stuff. And you can find out about it and download the free guide. Next week, of course, on Monday, we're going to do a webinar for the collagen challenge. We go challenge to challenge to challenge to challenge, not to burn you out, but to keep you going. Because we take our sprint principles wherever we go. They don't just land one time a week. We take them wherever we go, and we work on different things as we go. And I will tell you that the women who are in this group, and we have thousands of women, but the women who are in this group who are taking on these challenges as we go, they're the ones with the incredible results. And you can see them. They're posting them right there in our sprint group. It's super exciting to see. So I'm inviting you to this. It's at savingdinner.com/collagen. It's Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, and it's free, of course. And there's a sign up there, and just do it. You'll thank me later. There's lots of really good, actionable information. I don't do webinars, just blah, blah, blah. I mean, I put a lot of work into them. And there's things that are going to drop your jaw and make you say, aha, and you're not hearing this everywhere. I go digging through the research to get all this stuff. So it's going to be fun. I promise you, and everybody shows up. We also have the gala next week. What? Listen, all the information is at savingdinner.com/gala. And let me just say this. You don't want to miss this, because we did it in February, and did we have fun? Well, this time we're doing the galas in the evening. We're doing the 4 that we do at 1 p.m. Eastern, just like we always do on the Tuesday and Wednesday. But we're doing them in the evening on Crowdcast. So we have a little more latitude to do what we want to do. Dress up in your best razzle dazzle. Be prepared to come on screen, and we are going to have some fun music, the whole 9 yards. You'll want to be there. We have some huge prizes that we're giving away, including a full bloom ticket right here in Brevard, North Carolina. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I'm going to do a consultation for the lucky winner. They're going to get a consultation and all the supplements that I recommend that go with it, that we carry, of course. Cool. We have a lot of fun, incredible prizes. Don't miss out. savingdinner.com/gala to get signed up. It's free, of course. Success tools, we keep all, we have them at savingdinner.com/success, or tools rather. savingdinner.com/tools. That includes the mindful mug, the quote deck, and the journal, Take Back Your Life journal. They're all going fast. My suggestions, you get on them, read about them, and understand the psychology behind all of it, because they do help you set up an environment for success. And don't forget, the other thing is we have subscriptions available now. Did you know that? You can subscribe to the supplement that you want. You could just subscribe, and we will send it to you automatically. That's pretty cool. You can see that on every supplement page. And that's what we have. And of course, Q&A is every Friday. So if you've missed out, what's wrong? Why did you do that? Just send your questions into support@savingdinner.com. And in that subject line, question for Leanne on Friday, we'll take care of it for you. Is that a deal? Okay, so let's take a look at some of these questions. They're really good ones. I love these because I think they apply mostly to everybody. So first one is from Patsy, and she said, after having a bone density test, my doctor told me I have osteopenia. She wants me to take 2 calcium citrate doses at 500 milligrams plus additional vitamin D. I noticed that your CalMag supplements are at 500. Can I take 2? Well, and she didn't mention magnesium. Well, a couple of things. Yes, you can take 2 as the dose. So what you're saying is, can I take 4? Yes, you can. I would break the dose up, just, as a matter of recourse. I would also, I would also be extraordinarily on top of the collagen. Do your collagen like you're doing our Gorgeous Skin webinar, if you've seen that, which is meaning that you're doing beauty support, which helps you to create your own collagen, which is, by the way, right here on my desk, because I take it all the time. So do the beauty support that helps you to build your own collagen. take the perfect paleo protein every day in a smoothie or chia pudding or however you do it, but do that and do the bone broth. Those are huge because do you know in your bones, there's more collagen than there is calcium. And collagen truly is the framework for everything. It is a structural protein. So we got to go there first. And then, yes, of course, the vitamin D and the CalMag all support one another. Go out and get about 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on your skin tone, of sun, direct sun, no sunscreen. I know everybody's going to freak out. I'm not talking about going out in the middle of the desert and laying out with baby oil all over you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just getting just the right amount of sunlight. That activates vitamin D, and it's not UCV, it's UCB rays. These are the ones that are constructive and that you get in small doses, okay? So the research is out there on that. Anyway, that's what I would do. So I would double up on this. I would really make an effort on that collagen front. I also strength training. You're not asking me about any of this other stuff, but I'm going to pull out, like, if you want to strengthen your bones, this is what you got to do. Lose the weight, which I know you already did. I mean, Patsy, I'm so impressed with you. Look what you did. You've just really taken like the 30-day, what was it? The Hot Milk 30. Yeah. You took this challenge, you flew with it. You've done really well. You've got your weight down. It's fantastic. It's easier on your bones. Duh. But the CalMag is essential for helping to build your bones. And the calcium magnesium, now most doctors don't know this, but the newest research shows you that the magnesium is so important because it helps with the calcium to get it to the right place. The problem with calcium is it has a tendency and could, I'm not saying does, but could deposit in arteries. We don't want that. And it could cause kidney stones. We don't want that either. The magnesium helps that to dissipate. And together, they travel together in a little pair and they go where you need it, into the bone. So that's really important, and into the muscle as well. Super important. We need those minerals. And we need the vitamin D to activate it. We need the collagen, which will help as well. And then we need to also activate it with a little sunshine and a little strength training. Lift heavy, meaning don't just get out the girly weights and just go like this. Get out the stuff that's going to cause you to go, whoa, that's difficult. All I can do is 5. Great. All you can do is 5. Start doing push-ups. And remember, it's a push and a pull. So if you're pulling with a muscle, that's a bicep, and you're going back like so with your tricep, there you go. That's opposing muscles, pushing and pulling. It's really important. Do push-ups, do things that, pushing up like so, and getting your back muscles, all of this, and strengthening your legs as well. All of this helps you to become stronger and more vibrant. And by the way, not everybody's going to agree with me, but I believe osteopenia can be reversed if you're really on top of it. You don't have to develop osteoporosis because of it. That's my opinion. I am not a medical doctor. I'm a nutritionist, but I have seen this happen. And in my own practice for 27 plus years, I have seen clients of mine reverse this whole thing. So I don't believe it's a sentence to osteoporosis and, hip fractures when you're past 70. That said, your mileage may vary, and take it to your doctor, do what you want with it. But this is simply my opinion, and I stand on that. Sue's asking, I understand we can double up on Leptofix. So what about Crave Crushers and Get Lean? Can we take those twice a day? Lunch and dinner. Okay, let me break these down, because I think I could educate better on some of these. I was looking through some of our pages and thinking there's not enough information there. It's not enough to really tell you why you want to get this stuff, because this is all, these formulations that we have are all based on the latest research. And so I went to the formulator and I said, these things all work for helping with, certain like cravings and certain things. How do we put this together in a formula that will work for people, and that will, we don't want it to be dangerous. We don't want it to be just like they're going to pee it out, but actually be effective. And this is how we came up with our formulas. And I did not put the dosage together. I just put in, this is what works. This is what the research says. And how do we work with this? It took us a while. It took us months and months and months to get our formulations down. And that said, yes, you can increase the dosage. Yes, you can do, and you can do it effectively and without real side effects. I mean, if you're taking like CLA, for example, the Get Lean CLA, which is conjugated linoleic acid. It's an amazing supplement. In the form that we have it in, it's effective. If you want to double up on it, it's super effective. What are the side effects? You might get a weird little indigestion or something like that, and you have to kind of develop a bit of a tolerance to it. It's sort of like developing a tolerance for fiber. At first, you might feel a little bloated, but then you're drinking your water, you're eating your fiber, you're doing all the things, and pretty soon you can tolerate a degree of fiber. So that's how this whole thing works, and it's just really interesting to me. And the research is out there. You can definitely research this yourself if you want to, but you can do 4,000 milligrams a day safely, okay? And take a look at the label and calculate out how many that would be and go ahead and do that. Now, they've done trials on this, and it takes at least 12 weeks for this kind of dosage really to kick in to maximum efficacy. You have to do it for at least 12 weeks and probably stop at about 6 months, but you should see results. Again, your mileage may vary. Again, check with your practitioner, your healthcare practitioner. I'm telling you from a nutritional research point of view, what the research says, okay? Now, here's what I love about CLA. It increases your metabolism and it improves insulin sensitivity. It improves your metabolic function, which is really important, suppresses appetite, reduces inflammation, helps with insulin resistance and weight loss resistance. If you've been in that place before, you know what I'm talking about, how annoying, how frustrating it is when nothing is happening, And again, we're not talking magic pill here. We're just talking dosage is what we're talking, and how you can increase and how you can experiment with this safely without harming yourself. Obviously, back off if you start to get if you start getting diarrhea and whatever. What do you think? Just back off. It's like taking too much vitamin C. What do you need to do if you're taking too much vitamin C? Back off. Is it killing you? No. Is it causing all kinds of damage inside? Of course not. It's just your body saying that's enough. So we need to be in touch and know what's going on with our bodies, right? I mean, that's how it is with anything. The other thing is it's well tolerated. Most people adjust well to it. Just be aware of it. I'm doing it right now as a test. I have nothing to report yet. I've been doing this for maybe a month. So I thought it was interesting when this whole thing came in. I thought it was interesting. But I've noticed that there has been a drop on the scale, but I haven't been really, and I've shared this with you, I have not been a big scale person lately. I've been staying away from the scale, even the measuring tape. And just my whole view has been consistency. And so when I'm putting on clothes, including a bathing suit this past weekend, and they're big and baggy, and I'm ordering a size smaller, something's up. And that's the thing that I'm looking at right now. I will get on this. I have gotten on the scale after the whole hot melt 30, and I lost a whopping 7 pounds. That's a dress size. So I'm pleased as punch with that. But I'm also pleased with the inches lost. We're almost 7 inches. Pretty good. So that's part of the, is that the Get Lean? I don't know necessarily, is it? But it's also part and parcel of all the other things that I've been doing. So the Get Lean is that. Now the Crave Crusher I love so much because it is highly, highly, highly sustainable and easy to do. They're basically what we're looking at is we've got 5-HTP, we've got phenylalanine, we've got tyrosine and glutamine in it, okay? And then a little bit of chromium. All of these are amino acids and a mineral that work together to help with metabolic function, which let me just tell you, metabolic function is everything. Metabolic flexibility is everything. This is what gets us from being weight loss resistant to actually being able to move the needle. It's a big blasted deal. And it's what we need to do. This is how this whole thing works. And I promise you, it makes a big difference. So yes, it improves fat burning. It improves actually your cholesterol. Did you know that? It's going to help improve your cholesterol. And it's really going to help sustain the cravings in the long run. Now, cravings are a funny thing because there's a physiological side to cravings and there's a psychological side to cravings. And there's also habitual stuff attached to it and emotional stuff attached to it. It's a big ball of mess, isn't it? It really can be quite disheartening. But here's the thing that you need to know. What Crave Crusher does is it takes you through, it sustains and it holds, and it has all kinds of things attached to it, including helping with serotonin and dopamine, which helps with appetite. All of these, every single one of these amino acids have an impact on your appetite. Each one of them do. They help to suppress the appetite a little bit. They help with sugar cravings. They help to reduce the appetite, not just suppress it, but reduce it. And again, serotonin, dopamine. And it just, and the chromium helps to improve fat burning. And again, what we have is a safe formulation that anyone can take 4 capsules. If you doubled up, you're just merely taking a little bit extra of each. You aren't going to cause any kind of problems. And I've been doing that as well. I have been really playing with how much I can take with everything. And I've kept it to myself. I haven't said much of anything about it because nobody's really asked me about it. And I also want to just let you know that, you can do it just the way that we have it, or you can try it a little bit differently. So it's interesting to me how all of this, this really is a needle mover and it can help. These are supplements that have been formulated with weight loss in mind and with women in mind who are having issues, who are frustrated. This is, that's why we put these together. That said, they're not magic pills either. And they're not the magic bean that are going to, plant it in your yard and suddenly your weight loss woes are going to be over. You still have to do all the things, and you know what they are. If you're part of the sprint group, you know what they are: hydrating, sleeping well, eating the proper anti-inflammatory food, and doing all these things. These are all going to move the needle. They will all move the needle. Moving is a huge thing because our metabolism isn't just food. Our metabolism is many different things, including getting those hormones in check. And we're talking about hunger hormones, sex hormones, endocrine hormones, all the hormones. The hormones are messengers to the body. And all of these supplements that we've been talking about thus far help get the message to the proper channel so that your body can process this and do it, so that you can feel, you're not so much rattling around in the cupboards. When you know that this stuff is working is when when all of a sudden the day goes through and you're thinking, wow, it's 3:00 in the afternoon and I wasn't upstairs going, are there any crackers around here? Or is there anything, I can eat? Instead, you're busy with something else. That's victory. And that's precisely what all of these supplements are made to do. Anyway, that's what those are all about. So I hope that was helpful. And, we've got a lot of stuff that I feel like we need to do. I need to do more education on this stuff because this stuff lights me up because there's such interesting research that goes with it. I mean, there was a Harvard study that I just read on gut health and the connection to your gut health and obesity. I hate that word, but that was what the study was about. There was another study that I read about the connection between thyroid and your gut health and all of this stuff. How do we dial in our gut health? So these also, by the way, help with gut health. And I will also put in a little thing I'm talking about, speaking of cravings, that this is my L-glutamine sitting on my desk. And all you do with it, it's just a powder, tasteless, is put it just a little bit like so. See that? Go on your gums, tongue. And it goes and cuts off right at in the brain, that craving center of the brain, the addiction center. where all that, it's called the pleasure center of the brain, but it's where gambling addictions live, heroin addictions, booze, cigarettes, all of it, the addiction center. And we have it with food, sugar, all this different stuff. That L-glutamine is to the rescue because it cuts it off right there at the knees. Lots of studies on that, and it's absolutely amazing. And I was just reading somebody who was giving a testimonial about L-glutamine, saying after 2 weeks, I didn't have to use it anymore. Well, you don't have to maybe use it like this. I don't use it very often like this, but it's sitting here on the ready. It goes every day into my smoothie. And this is important because this is stuff that, again, heals your gut and helps to stop the cravings. It's an immediate thing as opposed to crave crusher, which is a long-term thing for the day. Okay, I hope that explained that well. Priscilla V, not Dover. So Priscilla V asks, what are your thoughts on tofu and tempeh as good sources of protein? Is soy healthy? I'm not a vegetarian or vegan. I'm just looking at other options for protein for variety. Thank you, Leanne. I love listening to your shows. Well, thank you, Priscilla. I love that you listen to them. I appreciate that. So, it's funny because years ago, back in the olden dark ages in the 90s, when I was a freelance writer, I wrote for ediets.com, big site. You could probably still see some of my articles. I was the one who basically started the top 10 foods every healthy woman should eat and all of that. Those are my takes on it. And one of my foods in there was soy, because it is an excellent source of protein and it is well tolerated by most people, although there are a bunch of people who have, it's a top allergy as well. But for those who don't have it as an allergen or a sensitivity, it certainly is a good protein. That said, it's also GMO. Most soy out there, like 9 point whatever percent of it is an issue. It's GMO soy. It's heavily sprayed unless it's organic, one of the most heavily sprayed crops out there. And there's a bunch of ethical things attached to soy growing that I just don't like. I just think, no, it's just a big no. That all aside, then we move into the place. It's very controversial, by the way. Soy is a controversial thing. Then we move into the two problems with it. One is the estrogen. It mimics estrogen basically and attaches to estrogen receptors in your body. So if you are, you have any kind of breast cancer or something like that, I would recommend you highly stay away from any kind of soy. And if you were to use any kind of soy, I would say it would be organic soy, either like an edamame kind of a thing, or go into a fermented, more like a tofu or a natto, which is a soy it's good for you. There are things that are good for you and things that aren't. And remember, with when we're looking at all the different things that are out there, and we're looking at every single plant out there has lectins and phytates in it, which are things to keep the animals from eating them, and they can be intestinally just distressful. Some worse than others, and everybody has their own thing. For some people, soy is just a real issue. I don't recommend it, just because also it's equiterogenic. So it's for thyroid people. I mean, absolutely not. Stay away. You don't need it. Instead of soy sauce, I use coconut aminos, and just stay plain away. Even if we go to a Japanese restaurant, I've got a little bottle of coconut aminos that I take with me. I think restaurants would be smart to do that, don't you? It would be fantastic. Anyway, that's my whole thing. And as far as variety, gee whiz, how many different fish are there in the sea? How many different shellfish, crustaceans? I mean, there's a bunch of different things. There's pork, there's wild boar, there's, venison and elk, for heaven's sake. There are things out there. There's bison, buffalo, there's beef, chicken, duck, eggs, all kinds of proteins. But my whole thing is I just don't feel good about it. I don't. That's my personal opinion. And you can find research to support what I'm saying, and you can also find research to rebuff the whole thing. Your mileage may vary. And I have to say that it's just like, where do you go with all of this? Sometimes we have to go with what our gut tells us and what works for us. For me, I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which has been in remission for years now. And I'm almost like 100% well, but I still have some antibodies kind of floating around. I do take a bioidentical thyroid medication every single day. Big deal. Who cares, right? It makes me feel, it fills in the gap of what my body is no longer producing, because I've had this thyroid issue for 20 some odd years. So, you got to do what you got to do. I always go to the place of what feels good, what the research tells me, and does it work for me as I take it in? Is this working? And for people who have any kind of food sensitivity or IBS or whatever, I highly, highly recommend you get a food journal and be absolutely religious about it. Not only writing down what you ate, but writing down what the effects were afterwards and how you felt. Because sometimes food sensitivities are so funny. They could even show up in moods. They can show up and just like, I feel crappy, or I feel like this, or I feel like that. What's important is that you show up and you write it down, and then you take a look at it later and connect the dots. Because oftentimes what we think is so healthy and think is so good, and we never put the two together, is because we haven't written it down and taken the time to document this whole thing. This is the big difference, and this is how you can move the needle in your own life with your own food and start controlling things like IBS. And the only reason I'm mentioning that is because soy can really trigger IBS. So I'm just mentioning that. And also anybody who has IBS, digestive enzymes and L-glutamine and collagen, 100% daily. And it's going to make a huge difference, plus avoiding the foods, obviously, that cause and wreck you. And keeping your stress levels down, meditation, journaling, and keeping a calm, beautiful self. What do you think? I am so excited that you showed up today, and I appreciate it. And tomorrow we are all about Soulful Saturday, and we're talking about excellence. And we're going to wrap up the week with a really good show. I hope to see you then. Peace be with you.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time.